saw a YouTube video once where two women discussed the hymen myth. That it is just a membrane, that when women go to reconstruct it, that doctors discuss like it's sewing through butter. That when they leave the office, most of their stitches has already fallen out. Buttered hymen making toast on a red sofa with a crust punk named Byron. We moved from the bar to the front yard to the couch, and I woke up hungover and missing my cell phone. Byron had blood on his fingers, and we got blood on Joan's comforter, which I would later pay her $35 to get it dry cleaned. I felt very alive, but I also really wanted to brush my hair. It was a beautiful, warm, early November day. It was my grandmother's 88th birthday. Byron whispered to me, "I want you to come on my dick," which is a sentiment no other partner has communicated to me. Byron and I now live in the same city, and I am scared that if I see him, he won't remember me. My anxiety about it translates into my dreams. Would anyone like to volunteer to hold my next signs up? I'd prefer it if you were a couple. Get on up here. It's gone rogue. This one's called the Thumper. This is how it works. You are young, and you'll never be younger than you are tonight. You just had sex, and you want to have more sex because sex is a thing that books just don't tell you enough about. So you're reckless, and then this boy comes over with your roommate's boyfriend, and you flirt. You try and flirt, and you do flirt. You hold hands the entire walkway to the metro. You make out at the club, and you drink gin and tonic. You drink shots that taste like candy, and the only part of the cab ride you remember going home is throwing an empanada out the window. At home you have sex, and the bed breaks so you move the mattress to the floor, and the last thing you hear before you go to sleep is, "I have to pee." You wake on the floor realizing he never came back to bed, and that he had moved to the sofa, and that there is blood everywhere. And you just keep living. I wrote that on my Tumblr a week after Byron. I was so giddy and so drunk. I was so incredibly drunk. Condoms always seem to break when you are drunk. The day I was supposed to get my period, I decided to watch Father of the Bride, during which I decided to take a pregnancy test in the cabinet underneath the bathroom sink. The abortion came and went like a root canal, but with a prescription for Tylenol with codeine and some postpartum. I had a martini every day of my pregnancy saying, if its heart is beating, it's only because mine beats heart twice as fast. The single backlash I got was from a Christian who preached the paleo diet and who now lives in Istanbul with her gay-faced husband. Bitterness will age me terribly. A month and a week after our empty womb party, I received the best head I'd ever had from an Australian dad in a queen-size bed in Mexico. It was going back to the 7th level of hell after leaving the 8th. Vibrators is you always have so many, but never enough batteries. You're like emptying the freaking TV remote. But I need it. Brillo Pad is what Morgan called him with a deep-throated laugh as I revealed my one-night stand. Out of all of my partners, my friends were the most judgmental of Brillo, which exemplifies the perils of going to such a small school. Deadlocked eyes the entire time, I remember going into my bedroom and thinking, this is what sex smells like. He was so expressionless, I didn't know he came until I looked down to see a cum-filled condom. Bros and assholes say you can see into a man's soul right before he's about to come. This is just not the case with Brillo Pad. He barely touched me all night, and I've learned that if a man doesn't spoon with you when you're sharing a twin-sized bed, he's probably just not that into you. Though, I suppose, I've learned it's not a sure bet even if they do. 2 months later, I asked him to have birthday sex with me. He said no, he never wanted to sleep with me again. Cat Eyes told me now he meets up with prostitutes in DuPont Circle, which makes me so, so sad. Are there any other couples here who might like to hold air out my laundry with me? Anyone? No couples? I bought this vibrator from a store called Adult World in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. And they have 2 parking lots. They have one in the front, which is by a major road, and they have one in the back. But if you want to get hollered at, you always park in the one in the front. And you park very closely to the building. First penis that had ever been inside my mouth. That is to say that you have received the worst blowjob known in human history. We recorded for a bit after that. You took me to see Rango instead of Blue Valentine, and we made out on my sofa. And after that, we stopped courting. So imagine my surprise that 1 year later, I would be climbing on top of you with a sigh in your aunt's basement. I liked you because you were rough, and we went upstairs, and I almost tripped on your dog, and your aunt's bedroom door was ajar. And you couldn't keep it up. And it was probably because of the whiskey, or maybe because you were nervous, but it seems to make sense. It was an erection that was not meant to be. I made you drive me home at 4 a.m. the morning of 4th of July, and you apologized, and looking back, it was such a sad time. It was the summertime blues. Later that day, Cat Eyes and I drank woodchucks and watched a documentary on the Westboro Baptist Church. You're in a real relationship now, and I'd say I'm happy for you, but that seems pitiful, and I never stopped seeing you as my equal. Okay. I assume there's no more couples, right? Any couples change your minds? Want to come up here? Are y'all just single? I am too. Okay. There's so much glitter up here, guys. But I don't know when I like bend over to moon you, I have like a little glitter booty.
Yep.
Shake what your mama gave you. This one's fun. Oh, this one doesn't have any batteries. Again, emptying the TV remote, you know. I found my mom's vibrator when I was like, I was probably like 16, because you're like, do you guys like snoop through your mom's underwear drawer? Was that just like me? I don't know. And it was so great. And it's like, when I started doing this performance, I was like, I just wish I could buy like 100 of my mom's vibrators, because it's exactly the aesthetic I wanted. But unfortunately, I don't live in like the 70s. So here I am buying this. I feel like if my mom bought this, she'd be terrified of it. She'd be like, what the fuck? I don't know. I'm just happy my mom still has a sex life. I think that's probably made like me kind of healthy. Like, look at this. That is terrifying. Here we go. I didn't turn on the bunny to vibrate, I'm sorry. This has been a not fulfilling experience.
Work it, Eleanor.
Thank you. I'm glad someone knows my name. It's so loud, too. Oh my god. You see I know. It's true. When I was a freshman, there was this girl, and I feel so bad, and I hope she's not in the room tonight because I don't even know her name. So I'm sorry if this was your piece of artwork as a senior in the Corcoran Gallery of Art in 2008, 2009. But she had, for her thesis, she had 2 dildos boxing like this, and I always said I'd never want to make artwork like that. And here I am. Go the other way. Sleeping with Andrew wasn't a mistake. I really liked him and I thought he was so cute. The face he made during sex... Is your name Andrew? Is that why you just did that? Because he like raised his fist. He was just like, yeah, Andrew. I never had sex with him. Not that I'm saying I wouldn't, but in case anyone thought that was him, I'm not feeling good about Andrew either.
Poor timing on my part.
No, it was good. It was perfect timing on your part. Are you kidding me? I know you're red, but that was awesome. Sleeping with Andrew wasn't a mistake. I really liked him, and he was very attractive, which is what I've written down. The face he made during sex was similar to the face he makes when he's on stage and he sings a high note. He kept his condom in a shoebox underneath his futon. He touched my clit as softly as you think you'd touch a bunny's space between its ears. The penultimate time I saw him, he adjusted his boner and then refused my advances, saying that he had a lot of baggage. I moved back home shortly after. Oh no, wait, this is even better. I left a tampon applicator in his unlined trash can, out of spite. I moved back home shortly after this and soon pushed all my anxieties into one big fear that I had every STD under the sun, obsessively picking my brain for any condom breakage, pre-cum, or mouth sore. I didn't have any, and I don't have any, but in the experience, it did make me turn to my vibrator with more admiration than I thought possible. My best sexual partner can be plugged into a wall, and I never have to fear their rejection. I couldn't see the love and affection. It was camouflaged as a jungle of erections. So obnoxious. I still hear one. Okay. Are there still no more couples who want to help me? Y'all need to get some OkCupid accounts. Y'all need to start looking online. That's where dating is today. Jessica? Over it. It's so close to being done. Over it. I say that during sex. I'm over it. I'm very close to being done. Boring. I'm sorry, can't answer that. Maybe I have with my eyes. I slept with Stevie drunkenly on our first OkCupid date. He was really hairy and his right testicle hung lower than his left. This was 3 weeks ago and he hasn't texted me back. At a Memorial Day picnic, I met at a Memorial Day picnic a man with a shirt that says "Life is crap" on it. It had 2 stick figures and 1 stick figure was about to give the other one a prostate exam. Real classy guy. Told me I couldn't call my sex life tragic. Even after I explained to him about my abortion after only having sex twice, he assured me that I just needed to have more experience. He assured me I needed a relationship not for monogamous sex, but for love and affection. I ran upstairs and sobbed in the bathroom out of regret for sleeping with Steve and out of loneliness. The life is crap guy was a dick, but he was kind of right. This is a letter I plan on sending to Steve on OkCupid. Dear Philly Artist 215. Now the kicker is that he doesn't even have a fucking 215 area code. He's from fucking New Jersey. Get out of here. I understand now that you have no interest in seeing me again. I am frustrated with this because I did enjoy our date together and thought we got on well. I suppose sex complicates things, but it confuses me that you thought we couldn't even be friends, something that you seem to be looking for. And I hope you do find what you're looking for in Philadelphia, but I do know that it will be way more challenging for you if you continue to treat people the way you treated me, without consideration. Love, EB 16,000. If you want me, you can find me working at some remedial customer service job, turning to the girl next to me and saying, "What do you think this text means?" If you want me, you can find me walking around Philly saying, "New York has nothing. New York just has their asses shoved up their heads." That doesn't make sense. I meant to say New York has their heads shoved up their asses, but you saw me take 2 shots of vodka. If you want me, you can find me watching pornos such as ebony lesbians fuck on a farm.